The minute you start to have judicial officers performing the tasks that belong fundamentally to either the executive or legislative branch, you've got a problem.
You do see, though, the administration attacking judges and the courts. Is that a mistake?
The president has always said he's going to follow the decisions. Now, I do think that these individual district court judges that are being selectively shopped by people who oppose the president, trying to issue nationwide injunctions and stop the president from governing, I think that's a real problem. I mean, it's a constitutional crisis, in my opinion, for these individual district court judges to try to tie up Donald Trump. I mean, it's obvious what they're trying to do, which is to run out the clock until he's no longer in office. But the truth is, he's running into a wall of resistance in some of these individual federal district court judges. And I think the Congress honestly needs to step in, or the Supreme Court needs to step in, because it's not right what they're doing to this presidency.
Scott, first of all, I'm going to get you in here, Sochi, on this point. But first of all, some of these are Trump appointees, number one. And the idea of you're saying him not being allowed to go.
I don't care who appointed them. I don't care. I don't care.
Here's what I do care about.
They're wrong.
If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general and how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. But we do know that judges do get to say whether the executive is complying with the law or not. That's been the case for decades, hundreds of years.
Well, I think there's a difference between saying whether you're complying with the law, and then you have these individual district court judges setting effectively broad federal policy that is specifically reserved for the president of the United States. I think we do have a constitutional crisis, and it's being caused by these judges.
Wow.
They're not here to tell us how to spend the money. They're not here to set broad federal policy. That is the president's job as elected by the people. These judges are supposed to be settling discrete, specific matters, not policy setting. I think Vance is right. I think Trump has a point. And these judges want nothing more to continue the lawfare against Trump.
How are they better positioned to determine that than the commander-in-chief and the sitting president of the United States?
Well, they're entitled to interpret the Alien Enemies Act. And here, the judge is saying there's not been a declaration of war.
There's three different ways that you can get Alien Enemies Act to apply: act of war, invasion, or predatory incursion. So there's no question that you can have those other things without Congress. They're not allowed to decide political questions, Dave. How is it not a political question whether we've suffered a predatory invasion from Venezuela?
You know who decides that, Megan? It's the U.S. Supreme Court. And it is telling that the Supreme Court has not jumped in.
They never questioned our declaration of war after 9/11. They didn't question our declaration of war with respect to Iraq or Afghanistan. The courts have typically been reluctant to go anywhere near that kind of political declaration because they understand when you're talking about political questions, the president is at the apex of his powers, and the courts, to say they're at their nadir, they have nothing. They have none.